Okay, so you just went over in your lessons on the previous screencast how to find the surface area of a triangular prism. And so what we're going to do now, you're going to get this worksheet that's going to be passed out. And there's going to be 6 questions on it. I'm going to give a couple minutes for you to start on each one. And then the screencast, it'll be paused and then it'll be played so you can see if you did it right. Just like we did the other day when I was gone with, I forgot what it was, maybe missing dimensions of triangles. But today we're going to do the same thing with this. So right now you need to make sure you're getting your worksheet, getting your name put on top of it, and having a pencil out so you can write on it. Now if you write too big to show all your work on here, get out another sheet of paper and just transfer your answer on here. Some of you don't have problems writing small. However, some of you do need to get a different one so you can look back and see how you did it. This will be going in your binder when you're done, and it'll be part of your points for your notes. Okay, so at this time, you're going to be starting on number 1. And you're going to give about 3 to 4 minutes to look at this problem. Remember, calculators should be out and ready to go because you get to use calculators on this. So you get 3 to 4 minutes to work on this problem. And then at that time, the screencast will be starting again. Okay, let's see how you did on number 1. First thing I'm going to do on number 1 is do the triangle. So we have, first thing you're going to write is A equals base times height divided by 2. So the base is 15, the height is 8. So 15 times 8 divided by 2. And if you're handy dandy calculator, you type that in. So 15 times 8 divided by 2, we get 60. Now the same triangle's on the back side, so we're going to multiply that by 2 and get 120. Now we're going to be looking at the rectangle. So I'm going to do the bottom one first. My base is 15. Not my base, sorry. My length and my width is 15 and 20. So we're going to have A equals length times width, which in this case is 15 times 20. Some of you probably did that in your head, or you could have typed it into your calculator and you would have gotten 300. Now we're going to look at this one right over here. So my height is 8. My length is 20. So 8 times 20 is 160. And then the last one I am going to do is this diagonal one right here. So 17 by 20. And you get 340. Now I'm going to add all 4 of these numbers up. So I have 340 plus 160 plus 300 plus 120. And I'm going to get an answer of 920 meters squared. So at this time, look at your problem. See where if you went wrong and then correct it. If you didn't go wrong, put a smiley face or a star on your paper. Okay, at this time you're going to be looking at number 2. A little smaller numbers to deal with, but that shouldn't matter because you have a calculator. You're going to find the surface area of it. So you're going to have a couple minutes, 3 to 4 minutes right now to work on that. So it's going to be, screencast is going to be paused at this time and then restarted in 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, let's see how you did. Let's do the triangles first. So I have area equals base times height divided by 2. So I have 3 times 5 divided by 2. So 3 times 5 is 15, and then 15 divided by 2, we get 7.5. Then we multiply it by 2 because there's 2 triangles, and you get back to 15. So 15 is the area of the triangles. I'm going to do the rectangle on the bottom first, the one that's face down. So we have 5 times 8, because that's area equals length times width. So 5 times 8 is 40. We're going to look at this long slanted section over here. So we have 4 and 8. So 4 times 8 is 32. Then we're going to do this little chunk right here. And And that's 8 times 3. I'm going to do 3 times 8, so all my 8s are the same. And that's 24. So we're going to add 40, 32, and 24 with 15. And we get 111 centimeters squared. So let's check to see what you did wrong between your problem and mine. If you did it all right, great job. So make sure you're looking, correcting if you need to. Find where you went wrong so you can correct your mistake in the next one. Okay, at this time, you're going to be working on number 3. And so you're going to be working on number 3 for the next 3 to 4 minutes. So at this time, the screencast can be paused. Okay, let's see how you did. We're going to start with the triangle. So A equals base times height divided by 2. We have 6 and 5.2. So 6 times 5.2 divided by 2, we get 15.6. Then we're going to multiply that by 2. So we can get the area of the triangle on the top and the bottom. Okay, now we're going to look at the 3 rectangular sides. I'm going to start with this guy right here. So we have 6 and 10. So area equals length times width, which is 6 times 10, we get 60. This guy over here is the same because we have 6 and 10. So I'm just going to multiply that by 2 and get 120. And then we have the guy all the way in the back here. And we have another 6 and 10. So we're going to add another 60 to that. So you get 180. Now some of you might have realized it and multiplied by 3 right off the bat, and that's great. So we have 180. We're going to add 31.2 to that. And so our total area, this one is 211.2 centimeters squared because it's surface area. See what went wrong or see what you did that went right. Make sure you're finding where you went wrong. You should all be working quietly and efficiently on this. You should not be waiting for me to write out all the answers. You will be giving a grade on this by having it done. So if you're having a hard time, make sure you're copying it and trying to understand as I'm going through it. You do get to use a calculator, so it shouldn't be that hard. Okay, now you're going to be looking at number 4. You'll have 3 to 4 minutes to work on that, and then the screencast will start playing again. Okay, number 4, let's look at it and see how you did. Again, let's do the triangles. Area equals base times height divided by 2. We have a height of 12 and a base of 5. So 12 times 5 divided by 2. 12 times 5 is 60, and 60 divided by 2 is 30. And since there's 2 of them, you're going to multiply by 2 and get 60. Now we're going to look at the rectangle. So we're going to use area equals length times width. I'm going to look at this little chunk over here in the back side. So I have 5 times 15. I get 75. Then we have 12 by 15. Which is 180. And then this guy down here on the very bottom, we have 15 by 13. And you get 195. We're now going to add all 3 of these together and add 60 in at the end. So I have 195 plus 180 plus 75. That gives us 450 for the area of all the rectangles. Then we're going to take the rectangles and the triangle area and add them together. So 450 plus 60, we have 510 feet squared. Again, be checking what you did compared to what I did. Some of it could be as easy as, oh, you used the wrong number there. So make sure you're checking. Our next one we're going to be looking at is number 5. You'll have 3 to 4 minutes to be working on it. You should be quiet. So at this time, the screencast is going to be paused. Okay, let's look at number 5. Again, we're going to start the triangle. So A equals base times height divided by 2. We have 8 times 5 divided by 2. So 8 times 40 divided by 2 is 20. Then we're going to multiply it by 2 to get the other side, and we have 40. So the area of both of our triangles is 40. Now we're going to look at the rectangle. So area equals length times width. The bottom guy laying flat, we have 8 times 12 equals 96. When we look at the slanted guy, we have 9.4 times 12. Plug that in your calculator. That's 102.8. And then this guy standing up over here, we have 5 times 12, which is 60. We're now going to take all of the numbers we got for the area and add them up so we have the total. So we have 60 plus 112.8 plus 96. And that's going to give us a total of 268.8. Then we're going to take that number and add it with the triangle. So 268.8 plus 40 is 308.8 millimeters. Sorry, 308.8 millimeters squared. I'm using millimeters because that was the label on that one. Okay, you have one more. And I hope everyone's looking at the card still and figuring out what went wrong or if you're doing everything right. If you're still missing some stuff, figure out what went wrong. It shouldn't be that hard anymore because you're using a calculator on it. Okay, at this time you're going to be doing number 6. You'll have 3 to 4 minutes on it. So at this time, the screencast is going to pause. Okay, let's see how you did on number 6. Again, we're going to start the triangle. A equals base times height divided by 2. Triangle's right here. 15 times 8 divided by 2. Make sure you are using that calculator if you're struggling. You get 60, but there's 2 of them, so multiply by 2. You get 120. Now we're going to look at the rectangles. I'm going to do this little guy over here first. 8 times 11. So area equals length times width, which is 8 times 11. You get 88. I'm going to do the one laying down now. So I have 17 times 11. Which is 187. And then I'm going to do the slanted one right here, which is 15 times 11. Which equals 165. I'm going to take all of these and that one and add them together. So 165 plus 187 plus 88 plus 120. And we're going to get an answer of 560. Label is yards squared. So be checking, looking to see how you're doing. We're going to take more time on this on Monday when I get back. You do not have any homework this weekend. If you got done before time's up, make sure you're putting this in your binder. And then your reading AR are working on another assignment. You are not talking. You're not getting out Chromebooks.